Since I was small, I knew something was wrong with the house I lived in. As a kid, whenever I was alone in the house, I had that feeling you get when someone or something is watching you. For a while, nothing out of the ordinary had occurred until a few nights ago. To give you an idea of the background, I'm 22 and live with my parents along with my slightly elder brother and younger siblings. We're not the wealthiest, and we live in a small house on farmland my dad bought before I was even born. I share a room with my older brother, and the young ones also share a room. The house we live in is almost cabin-like and sits alone in the middle of a few acres. The farm is not too far from suburbia. From the porch you can always see the lights of the highway just before the horizon. At night, our house gets really dark. I mean really fucking dark. The older brother I share a room with works the late shift in the city, so it's not out of the ordinary for him to arrive home after midnight. I'm used to waking up to the sound of him shuffling in the room, and I usually ignore it and pretend to be asleep. When the incident occurred, my brother was at work and I was home alone at about midnight, getting ready for bed. My parents took the little ones to see my grandparents for the weekend. It was time to sleep. I turned off the computer, TV, lights, and headed up the stairs. The night was like any other, cold, dark, and quiet. All you could hear was the faint buzzing of crickets in the bush. I got into my bed and faced away from my brother's bed and the door, the way I usually sleep. After about an hour of trying to get to sleep, I heard my brother's footsteps come up the stairs. I checked the time on my phone. It was 1 a.m. I put my phone away, but the brightness was really strong and made it hard to see in the dark again. The door creaks open. I heard some shuffling and ignored it. I then heard the footsteps walking around the room, followed by some squeaking noise my brother's bed makes when someone lies down in it. At this point, the room went quiet, and once again I could only hear the buzzing of the crickets outside. As I was about to yawn, I heard this deep, exhaling noise coming from my brother's bed. I paused for a moment. Filled the room. "Shut the fuck up!" I yelled. The breathing noise stopped for just a moment. I heard the noise again right behind me, but before I could say anything, I felt the weight of a hand pushing onto my back through my blankets. Shivers went down my spine. "Fuck!" I yelled. I jumped out of bed and turned around to face the room. It was too dark to see anything. My eyes were still disorientated from the phone brightness. Suddenly, I hear a car pull up to the house. "What the fuck is going on?" I yelled. I turned around to look through the window. "Who the fuck is that?" I looked through the windows and saw my brother's car pull up into the driveway. The headlights turned off. I saw my older brother get out of the car. My heart sank. Adrenaline kicked in. Without thinking, I grabbed the lamp next to my bed and immediately jumped around, facing my brother's bed, lamp in hand, ready to kill someone or something. My heart was racing and my eyes had finally adjusted to the dark. I could see everything in the room, and no one was there.